Excited to get this first game underway for both teams. Rainy conditions. We were talking a little earlier. It was just started raining literally about 10 minutes ago. Rubes, who do you think this favors, this rain?
I have to think it favors the Dogfish. Vancouver traveled. They're very young. Their roster is made up of a lot of new players. They have 20 rookies and 10 returners. The pro game is a pretty big adjustment from what these guys are probably accustomed to, and I suspect they'll improve as the season progresses, but in the first week, it's a lot to take in, and you pile on a pretty heavy driving rain. It's not terrifically windy right now. The flags aren't bouncing too badly, but it is quite wet. So I suspect there'll be a fair number of mistakes on both sides. But I think the Dogfish have greater experience, more veteran players, guys that are more accustomed to playing the pro game, and that's going to win them the day. At least I hope so.
Speaking of the players to watch for this game for Vancouver, we have Nathan Lamb, number 19, had 10 blocks last year, was a key defensive player for Vancouver last season. He's an experienced player, so he will bring that to this young roster, as you mentioned. And on the San Francisco side, who do you like?
Gabe Sonke was by far one of our best players last season, so I expect big things out of him. The vets are all going to be the guys that I suspect are going to have the best game. There are some new additions that are very athletic and could have very high impacts. One in particular is number 74, Ben Hubbard. This is going to be his first pro year in the MLU. He's played for Polar Bears. He's played at a high level. He's tall, 6'5", very athletic, skilled. I expect big things out of him. I've been hearing good things about number 32, Shane Early, who's a 6'2" cutter. This is his first season. He plays at University of Santa Clara, and the players that I've talked to have universally said to expect him to be pretty dominant downfield.
And for Vancouver, obviously a lot of young players on this team. I think the average age around 22, 23 around there. So many new players, and new players to Major League Ultimate, which, as we both know, is a different game than they're used to playing on the club level. Obviously playing with referees, making all the calls. A field that's significantly wider and longer, and some different rules for them to get used to, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out this game and for the season.
You talk about the youth of Vancouver. They have 3 players that are on the Vancouver Junior Nationals team. Ty Barbieri, number 6, Aiden Weep, who I don't believe is here today, and Joshua Lamb, who's number 26. Did I say that? Anyway, point being that these guys are young. They're 18, 19, but they're clearly very good. They wouldn't be on that team unless they were very good players. And Vancouver has a long tradition of bringing up strong juniors players, so I expect that they'll be capable.
Right. And just a recap from last season, where these teams finished up both with identical 3-7 records at the bottom of their division. So obviously a lot of room for improvement there. It'll be interesting to see, as you say, what Vancouver does with this young lineup. I think it'll be kind of the season in progress as it goes game to game. They'll definitely be showing improvement. You
know who else is going to show improvement, hopefully?
Who's that?
Both coaches.
That's
Both
right.
Teams have brand new head coaches. For the Dogfish, it's a longtime Condor and American barbecue player in the Bay Area, Jason Seidler, and Patrick Getian, I believe that's how to pronounce his last name, is replacing Andrew Lugsden. Hey, we're off.
We got the pole. Dogfish starting on offense here today.
Looks like a side stack. Back to Laster. Laster can bomb it. Nice movement so far. I'm not sure what there looks like. A horizontal, looks like a hoe stack. Oh, there's Hubbard.
Let's see that size of Hubbard really standing out.
Reset throw like Gabe is wide.
Wow.
Ooh, interesting inside-out backhand.
Wow,
nice
what
throw.
a great throw.
I would call that throw cheeky.
Nice and easy. Good reading of where the defender was there. Just lofted it right over.
Who needs a forehand when you can throw a lofty inside out?
Why not?
Well, that's just a matter of where he caught it. He caught it. His feet were set already. He didn't want to take it a little extra time. He didn't really need to take any extra time to step out and throw a bladey flick. Actually, in these conditions under high wind, a little inside-out backhand is probably going to be a little more stable than an outside-in forehand that could just blade and die. But 1-0 Dogfish looked pretty easy.
Looking pretty easy. And see the defensive line coming out now.
Devin Williams, one of our new players, number 2, he's coming out. In fact, there's quite a few new players out there. But it's going to be James Yeager, as usual, is going to lock it down, number 16. He's probably going to be the quarterback. He'll be the resets if they get this disc back on offense.
Vancouver starting and playing offense for the first time today.
Either a busted defense or Yeager was poaching. Ooh, Devin Anderson closing. Devin Williams closing nicely.
Eric Hunter, one of the big handlers on this team. Number 17.
There he is again. Oh, nice D. Oh, that's a foul. Excellent work by Yeager there. He stepped all the way around to stop that around backhand and made it tough.
18 had it and gave it to 7, 74, 14 foul.
Chris McKaig almost gets the block.
Victor Chang.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Great
nice.
block.
Wow.
Excellent D. Now, that was set up also. Did you notice Taylor Casino, he shut his guy down initially, and then the thrower was forced to come back to Yeager's guy, and Yeager had him completely shut down.
216.
Let's see if they can cash this one in. Uh-oh, wide open.
Wow.
Wow, very nice.
Couple of easy scores for the Dogfish early on.
That was all set up by not only James Yeager actually cashing in on the block, but Taylor Casino just crunched down on his guy. As soon as that middle handler wanted to throw a break mark swing, Taylor closed it off, and then he came back the other way. This is kind of what we talked about. If they can pressure Vancouver's dumps,
Yeah.
I think they're going to have a lot of success.
Oh, after the fall, there's a drop now.
We heard the crowd getting into it a little bit there, stomping their feet.
As I look down, I see a lot of umbrellas. I'm not sure.
The faithful coming out here
Yeah,
in Berkeley.
exactly. Very brave. It's California. It's not that
Sure.
bad.
No. It's not snowing.
Something 5.
So number 7 for Vancouver is out there. Number 7, Victor 10 receives. Ooh.
Ooh.
5, 41, 48.
Now we can stop this around swing. Nice D by Colby. Kills the continuation. Now if they can. There, nice D by Taylor again. Shuts his guy down, forces the second option.
32 to 17.
Doing a pretty good job on the downfield guys here.
17 to 32, back to 32.
Ooh, nice foot block.
Throw away.
Thomas Pineda with the foot block. That was just playing good D downfield.
16 picking it up.
Sheridan.
16 to 7.
Oof. That's a rough one. Zigged when he should have zagged. That's just a little miscommunication from Sheridan to Riggs.
17 to
Oh, wow.
drop. Drop by 7.
There's a big heck.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, Sheridan.
Good idea.
Anyway, good idea. Good punt.
Absolutely. Position's going to play a big part
Yep.
today. Especially if they keep playing defense like this. That's just a busted defense at Taylor.
31
Nice catch.
16.
Pineda's going to come down, and nice poach block by Thomas Pineda. Great poach block. Drops off his guy. Reads the wide open cutter. Goes in and helps out.
And that was that young Barbieri we were talking about on that Canada national team.
Yeah, Ty Barbieri makes the nice catch and then kind of forces it down the line. I mean, you may not, he had a pretty good look at it. If there was no poach, that's probably a goal. But you don't necessarily always want to just jam it down the sideline if you're standing on that side of the field. But he's a lefty, so he gets to throw a backhand, and I'm sure he loves to throw a lefty backhand.
Yeah, kind of a long way to go to get a fresh disc there.
So, little clog up the sideline. Oh, Colby Chuck. Let's see if we can get a... Yep. Defender gets a shot at it. Nice swing. See, working the width of the field here. I like it. Take it all the way to one sideline, and then immediately get it off.
Back to 24. 24
Share it. Yep. Yeager's going to put it.
to 13.
Oh, great read. Nice read. He had a good shot at it. He really made the perfect read on that. Got a hand on it, just couldn't pull it down.
I think he expected the defender maybe was going to get a hand on it, but did not.
90 to
Now, if the Dogfish can hold him here, yep, they're going to be in trouble. Nice
Oh,
catch.
nice bid by number 90, Taylor Nadon.
90, yep. 90 to 31. 31 to 5.
That's good. Well, let's see if Thomas can get there. Nice
Oh, and
D.
he does.
By 13.
Nice redemption. Drop on one end, D on the other.
13 to 5.
That's two good Ds on this end by
He got
Pineda.
he followed up a foot block, I believe. Is this the same?
Dogfish are calling a timeout here.
So unless I'm mistaken, Thomas Pineda just chalked up 2 Ds in 1 point.
Nice.
Foot block. Filling up the stat sheet.
That's right.
Well, so far, the Dogfish offense looks pretty solid.
Nothing that was a timeout immediately.
Yeah, goes to that immediately.
Vancouver's a little more scattered.
It's going to be a bit of a learning curve for this team this season. As a fan, I can tell you it's fun to watch a team coalesce and come together over season. That's a really fun part about coming out week out and seeing the progress.
Yeah, and it's really the stuff that I would look for in terms of a team's progress would be how often do they convert end zone possessions.
Yeah.
You know, that's really where you start to see a real positive, arc upward. If they can do the simple things like when you're within 10, 15 yards of the end zone, can you convert 9 out of 10 of those?
Reducing the turnovers, the mistakes.
Absolutely.
Just the little parts of the game.
But, I think everyone's going to get better at that. It didn't look like they were running anything particularly exotic in their end zone offense. It was just ISO the front guy in the stack.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about some of the rule changes for this season, Rubes. A couple of big ones, actually. The big one, I believe, is the traveling called no longer a turnover. That's definitely going to be a big benefit for the offense.
Huge, yeah. And the offense already has a pretty significant advantage out here. But I think it was one of those sorts of rules that was difficult for the refs to call because there are 2 types of travels. There's a travel off a throw, and then there's a travel off of a reception. So it looks like O-Team has subbed in Cloud, Derulo, Tom Lassiter with the disc,
And I think
David
that was
Genius.
the main reason for that timeout. Oh, boy.
Nice D. Let's see if they can hold this.
Whoopsies.
Ooh. They're going to stop it. That's probably a good idea. It's essentially a pick. So that turnover could have been an example of a wet disc, too, pretty easily. Oh, nice.
Oh,
Wow. Gabe Sonke comes up and gets the sneaky little D. That was very good. So let's see what these wet conditions look. Wow.
yikes. Kind of physical out there.
There's Nick Petru, new player for the Dogfish. Wow. Cloud can throw.
Nice layout.
So
there to
can
attempt.
Gabe. Cloud can definitely throw. There we are. Ooh. A little bit much. This is his first game. Maybe he's trying a little jittery there. Get it going. Number 19. Cloud's in position. Nice DI by Cloud there. He was the one who probably was going to be.
Whoops.
Ooh, nice throw. Nice inside out. Wow. Great. Nice.
Good movement by Vancouver there to get on the board.
Nice movement. Nice little inside out forehand to set it up. And they cash it in.
3:55 left to go in this first quarter with the Dogfish up 2-1 right now.
Well, we mentioned earlier position, right? Where'd the Dogfish start out with that disc? On their own goal line.
Yep.
15.
So on a day like today with high winds, lots of rain, miscommunications can kill you. And rain and wind are the great equalizer. So the road team, it's going to give them maybe a little bit of life and a little bit of hope. And it'll keep them in this.
Shouldn't have too much effect on the actual field. It's a turf field out here, so it does absorb the rain pretty well. But once you do, you might see a layout and a player doing a little bit of sliding, little slip and slide out there.
Ball back.
16 set up on 11 to, oh no, 22. 11 to, and 11 to 6 has it.
Oh, someone's poached. Number 8 is...
Oopsie. Oh,
nice
nice pickup.
Going backwards, but maintaining possession.
32.
Wide open there.
This should be a... Ooh, that could have been a shot. Nice feed, rhythm catch.
To 32 again.
Okay.
Oh,
Up away by 30.
Early with the turnover. Intended for Watson.
Back 16 has it on Vancouver, 16.
Early on the mark. I'm surprised he didn't get called for that little bump foul there. Refs will usually... Yep, there it is. Kind of a physical mark.
it's Graham Barber with the disc now.
Nice mark by Early again. He's got away with a little contact there, but he forced Barber to put it a little off target.
Good glove day. With the
Yeah.
slippery disc
Great day.
conditions. And a big up there.
Nice shot from Edelman to Goldstein. Nice read.
Good read. Against a shorter defender there.
Yep, just a good read. He can kind of hold position underneath him.
Yep.
The guy he's really going to force his defender to go up early and just let if the disc sails over both of them, he's in a much better position to go get it. That's kind of an old man trick. But I can say from coaching Andrew Goldstein last year, he's kind of an old soul. So he's not above sneaky old guy tricks.
17.
2:42 on the clock in this first quarter with the Dogfish up 3-1.
So let's see if they can get a good pull here, because I think pulling's going to play a big role today. Position, not only is the disc going to be closer to your end zone, but it might come up a little bit wet too. It's a pretty good one. Uh-oh. A little miscommunication in the back.
Who's going to get it?
Now, if they can keep him on this sideline, they might have him in... Oh. I guess it's a defensive foul.
10 yards.
48 back to 7.
You know, I'll give the Nighthawks credit so far. Ooh, nice, great poach by Sheridan.
That was a 7-on-7 play there.
So let's see if they can get in their end zone and cash this one in. Looks a little scattered right now. Nice throw by...
Ooh, good
So
get.
that's two guys who've played together for a long time. They know. Taylor knows put it up to space, let Ian go out and get it.
And then back to 19. 19 has it. And he
Oh, nice throw.
14.
Ooh, nice
Wow.
throw. Nice throw by Nick Fisk for the goal. That looked pretty clean, actually. End zone O-wise, they were organized. Pretty clean transition. 4-1 Fish, 2 minutes to go.
Rubes, you mentioned the Dogfish had a lot more practices this preseason, time to gel. We talked about Vancouver having 20 new players. That's 2/3 of their team turning over this year. The Dogfish about half that, I believe, 14 new players. That's still a lot of players, but a good mix with some veteran players. And obviously, the more time those guys have to play together and establish some chemistry is always good.
I'll give the Nighthawks some credit for what I've seen so far, though. They oftentimes, one of the biggest adjustments that it's tough for a USAU or other player to make is do things like when the whistle blows, you stop. They're not doing those sorts of things. They're running, they're getting into position, they keep on moving.
7 has it.
Oh.
38 picked it up. 90 has it now. Back to 7.
So they're just dinking and dunking.
To 7. 7 has it. He goes back to 31. 31.
Pretty steady looking out here, taking what the defense is giving them.
38 throws it to 90. 90 throws it to 5. 5 throws it to 17.
Everybody's...
17.
That's going to be a goal.
Ooh, he sticks with
wow.
it. Good read.
Nice catch. Colby was in decent position. Colby Chuck
Victor Chang with a good get right there.
Yeah, nice read. That's kind of similar to what we just saw Goldstein do previously. He had him on his outside shoulder. He's just going to keep his defender out there. If the disc happens to float over both of them, he's going to be in better position to make the catch. That's exactly what we just saw. The disc flew over both. But we've seen hands on discs that are popping loose. Pineda had one earlier and right there too. So the water and wind probably playing a role there. Now Vancouver's calling a timeout coming out of a score. So what do you think? Half field pull, perhaps?
That's right. It's one of the interesting rules of this game. If you do call timeout after a score, you can move it up and start your pull at half field.
And if the disc hits in bounds and rolls out, you have to play it from where it rolls out.
Right.
I think that's probably what they're going to end up doing. That's really the only reason after you've just scored to call a timeout.
Exactly.
Typically.
Right.
Except to maybe pat one another on the back, I guess.
And it's not a bad position in the game, down 4-2. So if they can get a quick turnover and then score, and they're right back in it.
Absolutely.
1:19 left to go in this quarter.
Vancouver looks pretty content to work underneath cuts and swing it. They haven't. I don't think we've seen one huck out of them yet, have we?
No, we haven't. And one reason for that could be is that, of course, one of the big missing pieces from this team from last season, of course, was Roy Hibbert, who was a pretty dominating player in the league. His size, his experience, leading the league in his career in blocks and points played.
Yeah, he holds. I think he holds every significant Vancouver record. The other person they lost, speaking of hucking, is Brendan Wong, who was just a dominant goal scorer. He was a handful for any team, anybody who ever played him. We would have game plans specifically to stop him, and it didn't work. So they're probably also sorting out who's going to be the hucker or the goal scorer.
Exactly. And Rubes, I believe I failed to mention that, of course, you were the assistant coach for the Dogfish for the last 3
years.
seasons.
That's right.
So when you say we, you're referring to the Dogfish, and you bring definitely a great perspective and insight into the booth here with your on-field knowledge of strategy and personnel, and indeed they are going to be throwing off from half field.
So it's pretty strong looking O-line here. Sankey is going to be handling. Hibbert's going to be cutting.
You're going to go
Lassiter.
For that blade with the roll.
Very nice. Way to stop it. Oh, it's junk. Fetch.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
That's exactly what Vancouver wanted.
And it looks like they came down with some kind of junk. That did not look like straight man.
Dogfish throwing some junk of their own. Double team is allowed.
Is legal, yes. We'll dump out. Lose some yardage there. Oh, tough inside out.
D.
On days like today where it's wet, if the disc is a tiny bit wet, it's very difficult to grip strongly enough to really throw a sharp inside out. What that player just attempted. Oh, Gabe is wide open down the field. There we are. Found him. Serrano's open as well. Nice. Nice cut by Jacob.
25 seconds left on the clock.
Nice swinging.
There it is.
There we are. Great.
Nice and
Very
easy.
nice.
Just in the line, just inside.
That is textbook offense. That worked from one side of the field to the other. That's a dump, a couple of swings. Nice, easy break mark throw for the goal. Well, that was, they just pulled themselves out of the jaws of defeat right there.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a big 2-point turnaround there.
That turnover earlier to Janinas was really what we talked about, what we have been talking about in terms of teams getting used to playing together and gelling. That was one player seeing one thing and another player seeing another thing. Janinas threw a swing to the sideline, and the other player recognizes that he's wide open, and if these guys play together with more regularity, they might know that that one's coming right back.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, the Dogfish pulling the same trick that Vancouver just did. We can expect a half-field pull here. Although with 18 seconds left, you wonder what you get out of it.
Exactly.
They have
pretty much got to get that turn right away, right?
Yeah, you need to get it immediately, and all that Vancouver would have to do is complete 2 throws, and you've pretty much squandered a timeout. I'm not sure who called that. Who called that timeout? I'm assuming it's the Dogfish. I can't imagine that Vancouver would. Who called the timeout?
For the Dogfish, it probably would have been Coach Seidler, as opposed to one of the players.
Oh, I'm sure it was one of the coaches. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really going to matter. It's going to be difficult for Vancouver to run any sort of pull play here with 18 seconds left. Or you could come down and run an umbrella or leave a man back or whatever, and you could pretty much kill it. And these conditions don't really lend themselves to hucking at the moment.
Exactly.
I think anybody. Oh, yep, they're going half field pull. Okay. It seems like one of these games that one team can really, if you can stay on defense, you're gonna. I mean, if you stay on defense, obviously you're scoring every point, but still, it looks like the Dogfish are controlling things pretty handily at the moment. So half field pull coming. Casino's going to pull.
I have to say, Devon Williams giving Sheridan a run for the money in the hair department.
Yes, indeed. The beard, though.
The two of them together. Nice.
Actually, I was. Great pull.
Wow, that was perfect.
It's going to pin him now. The backhand roller is a very effective rolling pull here. They're going to set up a double team on the cone off the roller that goes OB.
That's where it went out.
That's where it goes, where it leaves the field of play. Now, if he can throw something over the top into these conditions, I'm going to be very, very impressed.
Dangerous.
Whoa. They got time.
Gotta be quick.
Quick, but not hurry.
6. Oh, wow.
Great D.
Great D.
Fantastic block. That was a forced pass by Sheridan, probably a silly pass, but a fantastic D nonetheless. That was a great D by number 48.
Sasha Lowe with a point-saving D, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely a point-saving D. Yeah.
Just laid it out there.
Great block.
That brings us to the end of this first quarter with the Dogfish up 5-2. Want to tell you that Canterbury is the official apparel supplier to Major League Ultimate. You can dress like a pro. Visit CanterburyUS.com, the destination for all your team's custom uniforms and athletic apparel needs. Canterbury, proud partner of Major League Ultimate, committed to the game. Innova, also a proud sponsor of Major League Ultimate and its incredible athletes. As the official disc of the MLU, the Innova Pulsar has quickly become the disc of choice at Ultimate's highest level. Visit InnovaDiscs.com to find a dealer near you. That's INNOVA, Innova. A different disc than most other teams play with.
That is something else that 20, in the case of the Nighthawks, 20 new players are going to have to adjust to. They've been practicing with it.
Sure.
It's not miles different from what they're accustomed to. It just behaves a little differently in certain fashions. It's still a great disc. I love it. My kid throws it. He really likes it too.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah, but you need to adjust, make a couple of minor adjustments. But conditions like this, plus a newer disc, hucking is going to go right out the window here. The only hucks that I think are going to get off with any regularity would be the sort of thing where it's a broken mark to someone who is running into a backhand. You have to, you have momentum pushing you forward, and then you can really get something behind it. But it doesn't look like it's terribly windy. The flags aren't blowing too bad, but the rain is heavy. This is a lot of rain.
Yeah, it's really coming down. I don't know how much that's going to show on camera, but it is really coming down out there. We can hear it on our tin roof above us.
We've seen two drops earlier, one of which was caught, but we haven't seen too many just blatant drops. You hit somebody square in the two hands and they pancake it and flip it out, or hit them right in the hands. It's the gloves. I'm sure the gloves play a big role in terms of not only throwing but also catching. But So far, not a tremendous number of what I would describe as unforced errors, like just sort of blatant throwaways. We saw a great block by Sasha Lowe there to end the quarter. We've seen some nice poach blocks by the Dogfish. And most of the turnovers have been coming on dumps.
Nice positive way for Vancouver to end that quarter on a great D, preventing the score from going up higher, 5-2. No score limitations in this game, only the clock, so the score can get pretty high. But you're always in it this game.
Definitely, especially with conditions like this. Like all you have to do is have a nice pull, and a team comes out and turfs the first throw, or drops the first throw, and then you score, you're right back in it, and then you can just roll.
This that they worked on for a long time.
Back to that play that ended the half, that was the Dogfish double teaming. That is exactly what they wanted, by the way, which is you pin him on the corner and you force the offense to throw something difficult and high risk. And if Devin Williams got the block, and it would have been, I don't know if he knows this, but I believe in MLU you can tip the disc to your teammates.
If it's spinning, yeah, right.
So he could have swatted that into the end zone.
Right.
That would have been the most incredible play ever.
Yeah.
We both would have been jumping up and down if that happened. But he still gets a nice D, and they had a very, very good chance to score and really put themselves up for.
Did you see any Callahans in your 3 years?
No, I don't.
I don't think I did either.
I don't think so. No.
No Callahans or greatest.
I've seen some plays that were very close to Callahan's, like great layout blocks by both teams. Tip floating discs that are kind of wobbling, and one team's got a decent shot.
Right. For those of you that don't know, a Callahan is when the defense catches the disc in the offense's end zone.
So Dogfish coming back out on O, and this might be their starting O. We've seen this group several times now. This is Nerul, Cloud, Janinas, Sankey, Young, Lassiter, and Shaw. And that's the team that they've run out on at least 1 point of offense coming out of a timeout. Ooh, Young is wide open. Nice clear by Janinas right there. Disc moves to the middle of the field, and he clears space for somebody else to run into. That's a foul. It doesn't get called. Ooh.
Oh, Jazz hands right there.
Jazz. Wow, great block by Jazz.
And can he convert?
He is going to cash it in. Wow.
We've been waiting to call his name all day, Coach.
Jazz Grodin Gilchrist. That is a fantastic sports name, and he backs it up. Nice block, and then immediately gets on his horse and runs down and scores. But that's another turnover on the dump. That's where we've been seeing the bulk of them today.
Yep.
But he gets a lot of credit. He sold out on that. He absolutely sold out on that block. He knew it's a high count. He knew that's the safest place that the offense is going to put the disc. And he got on his horse and did it. Nice block.
Jazz, a Blackfish club player, and went to Emily Carr University of Art.
And keeping with the tradition of the Vancouver Nighthawks, he's 21 years old.
Youngster.
Same O-line. Looks a little scattered downfield. Jacob Serrano wide open. Nice swing. Hubbard. Serrano. Sankey. Oh, now they're rolling. Give it back to him. Nope. Serrano is just wide open. Over and over.
No mark right now.
No.
No one even near him. Oh, and that can happen.
That is a
Get an extra defender out
bad
there.
mistake, though, by Serrano.
Oh,
That's a foul.
yeah. He knew it. I'll walk it up 10 yards.
Somebody is completely open. Oh, Fetch. Nice.
Wow.
Great D by Janinas. I call Janinas Fetch. That's his nickname. Nice D by Fetch. Great D.
Knocked that one about 20 yards off the field. Coach Seidler will return it. Last 30, bring it in.
Oh, I don't believe it's on whistle. They don't know if it's on whistle live or not yet. He was just asking the ref.
Ooh,
Oh, nice catch by
nice
Naruto,
catch.
by also known as Robot. Oh, wow. Oh, such a great idea. Oh, Serrano and Naruto have been teammates in the past, and you could see it right there. They were totally on the same page. Naruto just put it a touch further downfield than he would have liked, but nice looking play otherwise.
That's the advantage of playing together. You know when your player's going to make that
Absolutely.
inset there.
But a little pump fake to free him, and then on the peel,
Big up there. Got
see if Cloud can get in position. No.
nice get.
Oh, Gabe's on his horse. He is not going to get it.
Oh,
wow.
Watching that, it was very close. Even if he had caught it, it would have been very, very close.
Great run, though. Let's see if they can get anything off this. There we are. See that? That was Naruto clear space. Fetch wide open under for a big gainer.
Ooh,
Oh, there's one. Oh,
that's
there's
a
one of those
slippery
drops.
disc,
Yep,
yep.
slippery disc. It's a foul. Looks like it.
Little bump there. Yep. We'll walk it up 10.
Guy was number 21, Nicholas Lynn, leaning on his completely on his back foot, faking a hammer. Oh, Fetch with the second block of the point. Very nice.
Interesting.
Read
He
it.
could have walked it up, but
He
chose to put it right back into play.
Nice D, though. Read it the whole way.
Going to call a timeout.
Good call. They do look a little scattered. That is a good idea.
Have been out there for a little while.
Yep. That's Fetch with 2 blocks.
Yeah.
Didn't take any chances on that second one either. Catch block in the end zone. You don't want to put that thing in the air in general, but in the end zone in particular.
How much leeway do you give your players to call that timeout?
I mean, we trusted our players enough to know that if they were tired, they would call it. It was another wrinkle in Pro Ultimate versus Club Ultimate, or however you want to refer to it, is that the coaches can call timeouts, and it's only the players who can call timeouts in traditional Club Ultimate. So. Late one man on the cut. Very nice. Goldstein wide. Yeah, see, now they're settled. Now they can just walk it in. Little give go. Nice give go. Great give go. Back to Jaeger. Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice. That looked good.
Good movement there.
Little, like I said, little scattered early. People are slightly out of position. Not one nice little crossfield swing to Janinas, and then things you can see things just kind of okay. Now people are getting back into their proper position, run the offense a little more smoothly. So 6-3, Dogfish.
The clock will soon reflect that.
So let's see if Dogfish can stay on serve here.
Not some major changes on these rotations from offense to defense. These teams have 25 players they can max out on. With injuries, you can bring up some players from your practice squad.
Yeah, it's a 30-man active roster, and you suit 25. And today we're missing Nick Weiss, very strong cutter. Yeah. Raj Mitra, very good D player. Liam Rosen, who was on the practice squad last year and has moved up to the full roster. I like this matchup with number 26, Chuck. He's on number 7, who is another kid from the Canadian Worlds team, and Colby's on the U.S. Junior Nationals team, so you never know. They could be playing against each other in Europe.
Sheridan gets the D.
There we go. Nice.
Take his time.
Very, yes, calm. Exactly. His first look was cut off. Take the second one. Nope. Pineda is wide open on this side of the field. And he knows it. Could someone please throw it to me? I am uncovered. There he is. He's open again. Oh, great punt. Good idea. Let's see if Sheridan's got a line on it. Oh, nope. Number 7, Victor Chang. Nice D. That's a little bit of a breakdown. Pineda is wide. Perhaps the rest of the offense is just waiting for the disc to go to him. And he doesn't get it. Nice Ian Branahan with the foot. Gets it up. Oh, I believe it's coming back. I believe it's coming back. Ref called a travel on number 5, Barbieri.
Yep.
So that'll be a...
Both guys get into it. They both thought they were a little right, but chat about it a little bit.
I think the ref is saying he did not come back inbounds because he's not actually walking him off.
Exactly.
So it was not really a travel per se. Well, no, I guess it was a travel. Okay.
All right.
And the first time we've seen the new rule. Not a turnover, 10-yard loss. Oh, they're doubling. Nice. Taylor gambles a little bit. Oh, Pineda is in position. Very nice. Let's see if these guys can just... This is the D-line. D-lines can be a little skittish sometimes. Let's see if they can keep it together and walk it in.
Again open.
Taylor needs to get the disc off the line here. Get it up. There we are. That's it. Now, let's see if they can keep working across field. Devin with the disc. Sheridan is usually pretty steady. He knows what to do. Taylor needs to ideally continue there. Pineda killing this guy. Ooh, cheeky.
With about an inch to spare. And there's Pineda.
Oh, Pineda. Oh, my goodness. He had Devin Williams wide, and he was getting ready to throw it just before he caught it.
That's right. Catch it first, then throw.
Yeah.
Double team there.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much double teaming. That's more of an opportunistic double team there.
Yeah.
They're not really setting it up off a stop disc, because there's often times where you'll see a double team. That's a foul. They're letting them play a little bit. That was a foul.
Bit.
Number 7, Victor Cheng.
Nice put by Nadon. Right. So easy.
Yeah.
So easy.
Nice throw.
I don't know about you, Roots, but I kind of like seeing a big handler out there. You know, they're a big target.
Yeah.
It's fun to see.
He is the tallest guy on this team. Yep. 6'4". It's nice to see tall guys that can throw. Well, Pineda is having himself a day. He is definitely filling the stat book.
I know Victor Chang coming in at 5'7", loves to see that big Nadon there on his radar.
Victor Chang.
His Nadar.
His Nadar. Apparently Victor Cheng likes his high release forehand because he's thrown at least 2 of them complete. Not afraid of the conditions for the high release flick. Another timeout. I suspect we're going to be seeing another half-field pull here. 2:21 to go. We're getting close. That is a tough turnover. That is a 2-point swing. Pineda's got the disc on the doorstep with somebody wide open in front of him, and it results in a goal going the other way.
He probably had three things going on in his mind. Was A, can I catch this in the end zone?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. What am I going to do when I do catch it? All right, I see an open man there.
But it's windy and rainy, and if you take your eyes off the disc for 1 second and you don't really secure it, it's a pretty good chance you're going to cough it up.
This rain has been continuous.
Yeah,
from
really.
the get-go, not showing any signs of stopping.
El Nino carrying to the spring. So far for the Dogfish, I would say Pineda has definitely had the biggest impact. He's certainly gotten his fair share of Ds. Janinas, I think, has tallied at least 3 that I've seen. And it seems like the scoring is widely spread. No individual is dominating goal scoring or dominating D. And on the flip, it seems to be pretty even on Vancouver as well. I don't see any one guy dominating. Yep, half-field pull. So let's see what they can get going. The Dogfish have not really successfully run anything off of a pull yet. I haven't seen what I would describe as a clean string. They ran a side stack early, but I don't think they got what they wanted out of it.
How often do you practice this half field pull?
We practiced it a fair bit because you want to get used to the possibility of being potentially on the back of your own end zone, and also teams will, if they can push it out, they'll double. So you want to practice against a double team as well, and it gives your defense a chance to practice it and your offense a chance to practice the double team. Yep, double team. But see if they can swing it out and just keep it moving. Then they should have a man advantage if they can work it. Okay, so Dogfish cutter's a little too far downfield.
Yeah.
Ooh, Hubbard. Oh, he was faking it, but it's so wet.
Oh.
That was a fake. He was not actually going to throw that. Nice mark. Stops the around for the easy goal. Oh.
Was he in? Yes.
Yes.
Just.
Bummer.
Little hammer throw for the score for Vancouver. Nicely done on that turn.
Dogfish successfully broke the double team, but they did not move the disc upfield in position. If you have it within 5 or 10 yards of your own end zone, gotta be very careful. 6-5.
Dogfish now, I believe, calling the timeout.
Yeah, they don't carry, so they don't carry through the half, so if you have one, you might as well burn
Gotta
one.
use it. Good job of Vancouver using that half-court timeout strategy to get back into this game. Only down by 1 point right now with 1:51 on the clock, and that's a lot of time left to score some points.
Absolutely.
Vancouver, for a young team, showing some poise here.
Yeah, even though they have a bunch of guys who are young, like we said earlier, they're a handful of guys, junior nationals, and a lot of these guys have probably been playing since they were maybe middle school. So
Right. The big issue is not their experience of playing the game, but playing with each other, and that's something that is going to take a little time.
and playing this game too.
This
game is
exactly.
different. When my coaching experience, I definitely had my eyes opened. I didn't anticipate that the game would be that different until you actually start observing it or coaching it, and it is very different. The pace, the amount of time or the shortness of time between points, it's much more mentally taxing than you might think,
Right.
especially for the players, because it just moves and it moves and it moves and it moves and it moves, and it can be exhausting, and it can be not only physically exhausting because the field is enormous and there's a lot of ground to cover, but you do really need to be mentally focused and mentally in the game through all of these quarters. And that's the thing, you look at it and you say, oh, it's only 40 minutes, but it's tiring.
Right. Big field, obviously. Idea is to make it a more offense oriented game, as you say, faster pace, quick scoring. One of the issues, of course, was having refs in it. What's going on here?
Vancouver called a timeout for another half-field pull.
Interesting. Again, if they've got the timeout, why not use it?
Absolutely.
Good opportunity to tie it up here.
So this is a similar O-line as we've seen previous. Naruo, Cloud, Sankey, Lassiter, Pineda, Jaeger, and Genius.
Yeah, that's how it was also.
Ooh, nice.
Gotta kill it. All right. They're not going to get a chance to double here, I don't think. Oh, it's a zone. It's a loose zone. It's maybe a 2-3-2.
And just as quickly as it's on, it's off.
Yep. When you bust it, that's the other thing. If you can get yardage on a team, oh rats! That probably should have been a forehand. Oh, that's
gonna come back.
Was that hand blocked or was that just a bad throw?
No, just a bad throw.
If you can get off to the races once you break a zone like that, it's very difficult for a team to recover a field of this size.
And that's another different aspect of this game. Usually when you're in a zone, you're in it for the duration of the point. But here you got to be able to get in and out of it quickly.
In my 3 years, I saw very little true zone ever being played.
Yep. Ooh,
nice rip. Let's see if Cloud can get there. Nice. Oh, golly. He could get there. He just can't pull it in.
It's right in between.
50 seconds here.
Laying out, not laying out. Ooh, good holster.
Now, let's see if he can hold the around. Oof.
Whoa, that's dangerous, but nobody on that side.
Wow, that is a very long swing. That was like a 45-yard swing. That is super risky, too. He just puts it up in a giant floater in space. Here's Jazz. What's the call, Travel?
That should stop. Yes, we'll stop the clock.
After 1 minute, any whistle is going to stop the clock. Well, now we're getting down to crunch time here. Let's see if they're going to get desperate and just try to pump something in the end zone, or if they're going to try to walk it in.
Oh, good mark.
Nice D by Cloud. 17 seconds. You can hear the sideline yelling, no huck, no huck, no huck.
Wow, you don't often hear
Oh, God, another. And vice versa. No huck, no huck, no huck.
but there is
Lassiter is in position.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Wow.
Out of time. Oh, they're
Dogfish.
talking about a foul, though. Oh, they are going to call the push-up foul. At the buzzer.
Okay, so I think they're putting 10 seconds back on the clock.
Wow, 10 seconds.
So Lassiter
Interesting.
pushed that receiver out of bounds. That's what they're calling? Oh, Dogfish doubling.
They got to wait for the clock.
This is not nearly as risky as you might think because the field it's a significantly smaller portion of field to cover.
You control the game here.
Okay, two guys with hands up because all you want to stop is the.
Oh!
Wow!
Wow! That's
Out
right.
of time.
Why not? No.
Oh well, don't get hurt.
An exciting end to the half.
Wow!
with
Yes, indeed.
The Dogfish protecting their 1-point lead.
2 turnovers in under 20 seconds, and then the disc put on the 5 with 10 seconds left.
Very exciting. Well, we've got a close game, and that's, as a fan, that's what you want to see.
Absolutely.
Do you have a team trip or corporate outing coming up? If so, charter a private bus, minibus, or party bus from busrental.com, a U.S. Coachways company. Bus travel is one of the safest, greenest, and most affordable ways to get your group to an event. If you're going with the group, trust busrental.com. Enter coupon code MLUBUS, B-U-S, and get additional savings and VIP treatment.
Skippy, the official peanut butter of the San Francisco Dogfish. Made with the funnest peanuts ever. Skippy yippee! I believe that's how you're supposed to say it, right?
Yeah. Have you seen those fun peanuts? They are very fun.
They are fun.
All right,
They're good
Coach.
sports,
Well,
isn't
as an exciting first half, these two teams are going to go off into the locker room to stay dry. They might even change their shirts? Is that possible?
I don't think it is, but
No? Is there a giant dryer they can get under?
they're not going to need showers when they're done, that's for sure.
That's right. Nature providing that today.
So looking back on the first half, I would say the Dogfish looked like the first quarter, they were throttling Vancouver. They really had them under control. And second half, a little sloppy here. Many more drops. The first quarter was pretty clean. We didn't see too many just straight up plain drops. And I think we saw several here, two of which probably might have resulted in the Dogfish not scoring. Cloud's late drop here off the Janina's backhand. He was wide open. He is receiving the disc somewhere around the 5 yard lines out of the end zone. And Pineda's on the doorstep. Those are two big ones. Now, Cloud's drop didn't result in a goal going the other way, so it probably was not quite as damaging, but Pineda's drop is a rough one.
I believe the score at one point was 5-2, if I'm not mistaken, Dogfish. So it looked like they were very much in control and in position to run away with this game. And good job of Vancouver of just staying with it, judiciously using those after-score timeouts to create additional scores and staying in this game.
But don't forget, the only way you can use those after-score timeouts is if you score.
Exactly. And
So-
you have the timeouts.
And you have the timeouts. But yeah, important that they scored those goals to keep them in this thing, because otherwise this could be a runaway, especially based on how both offenses are performing. Neither of them look like they're going to be doing any sort of, scoring in 15 seconds, quick strikes, big bombs, anything like that. So
Right.
I suspect in the second half it's going to be more of the same. It's going to be grinding offense, not a lot of bombs. But you never know. I mean, the coaches could come out and just say, "We're going to play position. We're going to start punting more. We're going to start taking more shots." That shot from Janina's to Cloud, that's on the money. Like, that's
Right.
not even, you wouldn't even consider that a risky shot. That's not a low
Exactly.
percentage shot. That's what you want. So
It brings up a good point. How much do you talk in at halftime? How much are the coaches preparing for halftime, and what adjustments are we going to make for the second half?
I mean, usually what you would do is you would see if a team is doing one thing particularly well on offense, you might try to make an adjustment to say, okay, this guy is killing us deep. Whoever's covering, we're going to back him. We're going to, force him back towards the disc or something of that nature. Or if they're running if their strings are killing you, maybe you would come out and run a little zone to man or something like that.
Right.
I don't think I've seen anything in this game that leads me to believe nothing is really standing out. Is anything, nothing is really jumping out at me as saying either team is doing anything particularly well. But position is going to play a huge, huge part in the second half.
Absolutely. And with that, we will take a short break, and we will be back to you for the second half. On both sides.
Yep.
Nothing really jumps out, I feel, strategy-wise. We talked about, otherwise, well, I think one of the bigger things, and it's the weather, of course, playing a big part of it. And this stadium, it often can be windy, but this rain certainly coming into play, but not a lot of big hucks, and which, as personally, and this is personal taste, as a spectator, I like to see the disc work down the field. It's exciting to see that big hug for sure, but I like to see it work down.
Yeah, I think both teams could significantly clean up their offenses. They both look a little ragged.
Yep.
And that's just adjustment really of kind of calming down a little bit. I would imagine the Dogfish have, 16 new players, and
Right.
Vancouver's got 20. So there's definitely going to be that adrenaline boost coming out of the gate, and maybe that might have dipped off a little bit for the Dogfish. But both teams can certainly play better. I'm sure of that. Both offenses can play better.
Looking at this Nighthawks team, and you might be wondering what their experience is. A lot of Blackfish players, some Fury George players, Alpha BC represented.
Alpha BC is the juniors team from Vancouver. And Blackfish has been the second Vancouver men's team for a very long time.
And on the Dogfish side, we've got a couple of Revolver players, Polar Bears, Groove, Mischief, Condors, American Barbecue. Quite a mix of the plethora of quality club teams here in the Bay Area.
There's a lot of guys on Vancouver have played together in kind of pools of 5
Right.
here, 6 here, 4 there. So you wonder if they can lean on that a little bit more in this second half and work with those guys with which they are the most familiar. Just, you know, what we saw earlier from what was an unfortunate turnover from Naruo to Serrano, former teammates on Polar Bears, that kind of thing, where you know what the receiver is going to do. You know what the cover is going to do. You know what the thrower likes to throw. You know what throws they have, what throws they don't have. So you know where to go. You know where not to go.
And that's why the Dogfish were so successful in their inaugural season with so many of those revolver players on this team that had so much time playing together.
Definitely, and that's always going to be the challenge for not only these two teams, but also for the Seattle Rainmakers, which are the third of the four teams in the Western Division, along with the Portland Stags. They have somewhere in the ballpark of 12 new players, whereas Portland only has 7, and they are going to be, I think, the prohibitive favorite to win the conference, and maybe face the Eastern winner in the MLU Championship, which I believe is in the East Coast again this year.
Portland Stags were upset in that last Western Conference game of the season. They figured to be the conference winners, but Seattle came in and played a great game and
beat them by 1. Very close. Huge upset.
They're thinking about that as they play each other today. The other game in this conference.
Wouldn't it be ironic if it was raining in Berkeley and sunny in Portland today? Okay, there's our first pull.
Vancouver starting out on offense.
Victor Chang is around the disc a lot. He seems to be a pretty steady handler for these guys. Ooh. And there is a wet forehand right there. You can't get a good grip on it. First thing it do is it's going to tail tremendously. Nice catch by Sheridan. Whoa.
Nope.
Yeah, it doesn't get
Not
quite
enough.
It doesn't get quite enough on it.
We have Hunter and
Oh, floater.
Ooh.
Nice catch.
Sasha Lowe coming down with it. And we have an injury on the field.
Great catch. Great catch in the crowd. Second very athletic play by Lowe.
Just going to walk it off, it looks like.
But they're all, as we mentioned earlier, they're all moving. No one stopped. These guys know the rules. They've played enough to know what's going to work. So it looks like a center ISO.
That was
Barbieri.
Jasper
Nice D
Lou.
by Riggs. Nothing up the middle right now. Oh, Taylor. Casino beat underneath. He was going to be the next option there. Here's your tall handler.
Nadon.
And here's the lefty, Junior. Ooh, nice poach by Jaeger. That stopped the goal. That saved the goal.
Ooh, big hammer.
And tailing hammer.
Space. Sasha Lowe coming down with it.
Nice break.
Swings it around.
Let's see if the high release forehand makes an appearance.
Ooh, a little cheeky there from the youngster.
That's the kind of thing that you hope a team would get ironed out the more they play together.
Absolutely.
So looks like all ISO Sheridan here. Yeah, they're side stacking.
A couple of options there. Pineda comes down with it.
Oh, golly, that
Good
is
idea,
a rough one.
but
Yeah, good idea. Nicely set up for a nice gainer. Pineda actually called McCaig off that pass first, and McCaig kept going, but just overthrown. Nice D by Casino.
Ooh, big get there. Nice come down. Got a lot of air. Victor Chang.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
wow.
Not
McCaig's
sure.
man had him beat there, but
There it is.
Let's see.
Pineda all alone almost.
ah, very nice. Nice
Enough.
goal.
Pineda coming down with it.
So, several unforced errors there from both sides.
Yep. It was wet in the first half, and it's still wet in the second half, but they certainly had some time to talk about it and how they're going to deal with it.
Cutters are open. They're just not hitting them. That last turnover, McCaig's man definitely had him beat underneath, and just a slippery forehand. It's very difficult to throw flicks, especially if you're throwing something like a flat inside out or a real sharp angle inside out. It's just really hard to grip it sometimes.
That was my nickname in college, slippery forehand.
Sharp inside out?
See that D line? Nope.
No,
Yep.
yeah, this is a D line. This is
Yep.
Janinas, Young,
Williams.
Williams, Sonky, Cloud. Naruo, also known as Robot, and Tom Lassiter. Lassiter's normally an O player. I'm surprised to see him out on the D line. Yeah, Victor Cheng, he is definitely proving himself to be the hub of the offense here. He's getting a lot of touches. Oof.
Yep. Oh.
Slippery flick. Another slippery flick. It's going to be the theme of the day.
5 caught it and dribbled it. So 10 has
There we go. Janinas clears space. Nice. See that? Janinas is in a bad position. He clears space for Cloud. And now they're moving.
7 to 5, right?
He had in a row. Janinas does the right. Janinas did the right thing there. He had nothing early. He looked to the dump. He had Naruo if he wanted to stick with him. Eventually, he gets it to him.
5 throws it.
Very nice. Continue. ISO to Devin. Oh, that's a travel.
Oh, Sanke does not like to stop moving.
That is a travel. Yes.
He knows it.
Although, only 10-yard walk-off last year, that would have been a turnover, and that would have been a gut punch at this point in this game.
I hope that doesn't lead to more traveling.
Yeah, I don't think it will. But it gives the refs the chance to actually make the call. Oh, very nice. Little lefty backhand. And now
Wide.
Cloud should continue. Oh. Gabe is wide. There we are. Ooh, nice bid.
Nice hands.
Easy goal. Very
There it
nice.
Nice work by the Dogfish there.
Look pretty clean. Fish are not, when they're getting the disc moving towards the middle of the field, the one thing they're not doing is the centering pass. Ideally, what you'd like to have happen is whoever gets that centering pass looks to continue the swing so you can kind of work your way back field. You can work your way cross field, and then that just opens up everything. They're getting a little bit content here to get the discs working that way and then work it right back the direction it's just come. If that's your offense, great, because you can sort of misdirect some stuff. You can get defenders overrunning that swing because they're expecting it. But from up here, maybe that's what they're going to talk about. We need to swing it more. We need to swing it more. We need to swing it more. Let's not jam it down the force side over and over and over.
We talked about a couple players not coming back for this Nighthawk team in Wong and Hibbert, and on the Dogfish side, of course, we have Andrew Hooker, Nick Thompson.
Yeah.
That moved east, I guess, playing for Boston.
Both playing
now.
for Boston. Those guys were both great players for us last year. Hooker, in particular, was a revelation. He had tried out 2 years past, but he had, I guess, in the 2014 season. But he showed up late to tryouts, and he just missed a couple. And it was it was unfortunate that we couldn't add him to the team because our roster was already set, but he was a guy that I was very high on. And over the course of the year, I actually emailed him a couple times and said, hey, man, don't get down. I think you're a very good player. Please come out. Please come out. And when we had our team, our offense rolling, it was when he was playing a lot. He was super high impact. Nick Thompson was dealing with a hamstring through a significant portion of the season last year, but when he was out there, he's just really good, straight up. He's just a very, very, very good player. And I'm sure the Whitecaps are happy to have both those guys. We're not going to see them. We are going to see the Rumble in a couple of weeks,
That's
which I think
right.
is going to be really exciting.
That's going to be the first time for this league is having that East-West crossover game.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be fun to see some. I mean, we're seeing a bunch of new faces now, but it's kind of exciting to see a team from the East Coast come all the way out. Dogfish timeout results in half-field poll.
Both teams using the strategy all day long.
So it's nice to see Thomas Pineda out there because we both know the caliber of athlete that he is. Number 13, Thomas Pineda for the Dogfish. He's proven it today. He's in position. He's getting blocks. He just needs to, clean up a couple of little mental hiccups here and there. But he's playing a lot, and I'm happy to see him moved up in the starting rotation.
Those guys are scary when they're so athletically gifted, and then they start figuring out the game. It's like, watch out.
It's like, oh, I know how to throw now and where to go. So that did not roll out. That's probably not exactly the pull that they wanted, but they still have him pinned.
Chang quickly getting it out. Sheridan with some tight D.
Now they're pushing him to the sideline here. Now if they can keep him, let's keep him here. They're just going bang, bang, bang down the line.
Big up.
Sheridan is in decent position. Oh! the gap on his guy and then get your head around to look for it. When you hear the up call, is when you turn and look for it. You don't turn early. Nice block.
5'9", plays like 6'9". Big up here.
Oh, well, if you can get this one.
We'll see.
He will be a man among... Oh, rats.
Just got sandwiched there.
Philip Davidson, number 32, gets the block, and he's got easily 4 or 5 inches on James. Now they're playing, maybe this... Oh. We talked about this. Maybe they're playing a little more position here. That was a shot downfield, looking to double.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
A little mistake there.
Whoopsie daisy. That's a foul, and that's a foul.
We'll take it.
Easy. Ian is not going to turn this over.
Nope.
And neither is Taylor.
Nope, didn't quite make it in. Right on the line.
Ian needs to get out.
Timeout if he wants it.
Very nice. Woof.
That was close, but
jamming it. Who needs to swing it? I don't need to swing it. I'm just going to throw it in this tiny window. But it works. Jaeger had his guy beat. So that might have been what we talked about coming out of half. Maybe they have said, we're going to, if you have an open shot like that, take it.
Yep.
Because Sheridan certainly is not the matchup you necessarily want to be throwing to there with a guy who is 4 or 5 inches taller. But it works out, you know. Put it 60 yards downfield, get them close to their end zone, and punch it in. And they come out like a house of fire in the second half here, 3 in a row.
10-5 now. Dogfish up with a little over 5 minutes to go.
Great block by
quarter.
Sheridan, though, to save that goal. That's just a really good ultimate play. He's on the correct side of his guy. He knows the force is flick, so he's going to be on the flick side. Once his guy starts to kind of drift to the break side, you notice he doesn't turn his head and look. He's going to run as hard as he can to close the gap, and then when he hears the up call, then he's going to look. You don't look early. If you look early, it takes you off path. You can't close down that gap as quickly as you could otherwise.
And that's why communication is so important by the guys out here talking to each other.
You need up calls. You have to have a sideline. Sideline has to help you out. On this field in particular, the field is enormous. You need vocal sidelines.
Vancouver a little rattled now with some unforced errors.
I like what the Dogfish are doing on the sideline there. You notice that Watson starts out static on the sideline, runs off it and clears space, and Cloud is wide open underneath.
Big swing.
Big swing to Shaw. Back to Cloud. Back to Shaw. There we are. Now they got it rolling.
So
and you got
fast.
Goldstein crossfield. Nice continuation. Great continuation cuts downfield. Watson fills it in. Tom Watson, the best golfer in Ultimate.
Just played his last Masters.
Now they're chugging.
Double team
Nice
here.
double team.
Little dump.
Little dish. Ooh. Jump in.
Yes.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, yep.
Nice
He
goal.
was in.
Very nice offense. That is clean, nice looking offense. You notice that they work it to one side. They start the swing going. They walk it all the way to the other side. They kept the disc on that half of the field through most of that possession. Once they cross the 40, it's going to open up everything.
I think the score is actually 11-5.
Is it 11-5?
Dogfish rolling right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely have Vancouver on their heels right now. We'll see what they can do to right the ship. That last turnover by Vancouver was just an unforced error. Nice pull from Janinas. Here's our man, Mr. Chang. I don't know what is going on over there, but there's a bunch of open dudes. That's not a great defensive breakdown when you let them walk it up past the 50 without any pressure. So let's see if they can keep him trapped on the sideline. Yeah, Vancouver seems pretty content to just, well, you can jam it down the line when people are that open. That's a rough defensive point. There must have been some sort of miscommunication on who's covering who, that if you have people that open, walking it all the way down the sideline like that. Vancouver calls a timeout, and I'm guessing we're going to see another half-field pull.
When you have a quick release that can happen on the defense, where you're not holding on to the disc, not giving the defense time to make a correction or to establish themselves, then that can really be to your benefit.
Well, you look at what, we're in the Bay Area, so I'm a Warriors fan, I can't help it, but what do? They move the ball, right? That's what they talk about. When you see their offense bogged down, it's because it's one guy dribbling who's trying to play one-on-one. That previous point of offense that we saw the Dogfish run, they were just move the disc, move the disc, move the disc, move the disc. It's next to impossible to stop a team that is committed to take what the defense gives you, you don't look off anything, and you just move it. I think that's what the Buzz Bullets do. I watch them play sometimes, and their offense definitely confuses me, but if somebody's open, they just throw it to them. They don't really care where that person is. So let's see if the Fish can score a goal. If they come out of this timeout scoring a goal, it's going to put them in pole position going the rest of the way. Only 3 minutes and 34 seconds left in this quarter. It's actually a decent-sized crowd out there today, considering the conditions. A lot of umbrellas. Coach Safety, former Coach Safety, down there as well.
How does it feel for you, Rubes, being on the other side of it here?
I'm super excited. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. And I'm just thrilled to have the opportunity, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to do it. And especially to do it with my team that I coached.
Yeah.
And I know the players, I'm pretty familiar with a lot of the players, so that is very helpful. And it doesn't hurt that I live a quarter mile from here, so I walked here today.
Perfect.
When we moved to Berkeley High, I was excited for many reasons, not the least of which that I could ride my bike to games and practice.
Yeah, so by that time it was too late to enter red because they already told us that we created games for the 3 teams.
So Dogfish offense, Watson,
But
Edelman,
it's not that we did.
Young, Shaw,
It's just out of the
Lassiter, Goldman, and Sankey.
the other 2 were 15.
Blady pull.
Looks like a good one.
You can't knock it. Yeah, you got to wait until it hits the ground before you knock it down. Okay, they're back to this junk defense. They've run this once before, and I think it was actually pretty successful. Oh,
Ooh,
dear.
that's just gonna hang.
Wow.
Whoa!
Gabe out of the clouds. Comes out of nowhere to make a spectacular.
How does he get so much air?
He read that from a ways away. Everybody else is running under it and standing around, and he had a chance to. Ooh, great D. Excellent block by
Chang, was it
Chang with it. No, that's
Nope.
77.
77.
Chan.
Chan.
Aaron Chan. Nice block.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's just a
Sure.
that's a miscommunication right there.
Almost like he didn't see.
He didn't
the
see him.
Dogfish.
Yeah. Watson's committed to dumping it. Probably a good idea here. Edelman's wide. Very nice. Edelman is left-handed.
Oh.
Oh, golly!
Oh. So close.
Yes. And that's the look you want. He just put a little.
And another big up.
It looks like both teams have decided they're going to start hucking.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Shaw through the crowd.
Commanding D.
Nice break mark. Now let's see if Young's going to swing it. Now, see that's a good opportunity to start. Keep the disc moving cross field. Don't just stop. Same with Shaw. Yep, you don't really need it, I guess, in this case. Goldman is going to be ISO here. Good. Get out of his way. That was, nice sneaky Tom Lassiter.
Oh.
Going to settle down. Very nice.
Sankey gets the score.
That was actually nice, disciplined end zone offense. Sankey gets the disc on the doorstep. Goldman's in position in the end zone. You notice nobody clogged him. Nobody crowded him. They gave him room to work. Doesn't get open. That's fine.
Yeah.
Reset it. Go from there. But that's the kind of thing I like to see. That's really coaching. That really is honestly coaching, and guys who know what they're doing. But that's a good piece of end zone offense. Result in the score 11-6.
Absolutely. When you're so close to that end zone, you have a short field. A lot of it can be just knowing who needs to get out of the
Absolutely.
way, clear that space out.
Yep. Don't clog it. Don't crowd it. It doesn't matter how open you are. Don't run in there. Kids at home, don't clog it. Don't crowd it.
Get some Drano out.
So it's Janinas, Cloud, Naruo, Serrano, Jaeger, Petru, and Ranahan for the fish. On D.
Got
Centering
Sasha
past
Low.
There's your centering pass to Cheng. Cheng is looking like he's the center handler on this offense. There's 90, your big handler.
Barbieri.
Lefty excitement. Inbounds.
Yes.
Inbounds.
One in. Good enough.
Oof.
Quick release.
Same. Oh, very nice.
Oh, nice look.
That's the exact same look that Sheridan did earlier. It looks like they're looking for that. They get it pinched to the sideline. They throw a little flick fake to get the guy moving, and then you come with your round backhand.
And I'm always impressed when your chief handler gets away and gets in the end zone for a score.
Was that Cheng?
Yes.
Oh, wow. He must have come from pretty far back to
Yep.
get that. Nice. That is, honestly, if you're gonna pin blame on anybody, you put that on the marker. That throw should never get off.
Right.
Absolutely. It's tough, especially if you're trailing your guy and he gets it running away from you. Your momentum is going to carry you past him, and if he's throwing a flick fake and you bite it, then you are completely out of any position to stop a break mark throw.
11-7 now is your score. Favor the Dogfish.
Chuck to Riggs. Nope, good. Look off Taylor. Nice inside out. Same
Uh-oh.
team. Woof.
Okay.
Pineda's going with 2 gloves today.
Uh-oh.
That's a bad turnover. Nice poach. Very nice poach. On the doorstep. Oh, the fish hold him here.
Nice work by Vancouver there.
Great work by Vancouver.
Making that turnover count.
Good end zone offense on their part as well. Walk it down, ISO one guy, don't hit him, no problem. Swing it back to the middle. And then, hey, what do you know? The guy who wasn't open a second ago is now open. Bad mistake by Thomas Pineda, though.
No, after 24, it went to, yeah, no, it went back.
Might have been, a little bit of drop it, catch it, take a second to settle. Sometimes throwing a dump is the worst thing in the world to do that after you kind of.
16. Picked it up after that.
Done
He
something
hadn't been on the
hard.
field for a while, and I know that can be tricky when you're on
Absolutely.
the sideline, you're cooling down.
Guys on the sideline are, pat him on the shoulder. They know.
Oh, yeah.
It's no big deal.
It's a long game.
Absolutely.
To do it again, learn from it.
Man, they're coming down hard on D.
Jazz.
Yeah,
running
he
down
actually
there.
had a chance. I mean, if that throws on the. But the only problem is then you do this. If you overrun your defense, then overrun your offense, then you're in a trail position the whole rest of the way. It's kind of like a weird fast break. It's like it's a slow fast break because it takes a long time to develop because you have a long way to go.
Sanke looks like he plays on roller skates, just always moving when he catches that disc. Doesn't like to stop.
Offense is actually looking pretty clean. Yeah, nice. The little center pass. Gabe's going to get out and make room. Oh boy, that was almost a turnover. He was going the wrong way. Fetch and Gabe actually play on the same Goldsmith team, and you can kind of tell.
Quite a few steps there by Sanke.
Nice goal, but yeah, those guys, they know each other. They've played together for a season, and they play a lot of Goldsmith together, and you can see the synergy there. A little give-go. Easy goal. 24 seconds left.
And then 10.
That's one of the rules that I feel like, I don't know how intentional it is, that gets abused. It's the travel after the catch. So the way the rule is set up is that you can catch the disc, and your momentum, if your momentum takes you a couple of steps, whereas if you really don't have any momentum, the players do not try very hard to slow themselves down. They're going to take those 2 steps regardless, or 2 or 3.
I mean, there is, it is kind of hard to stop, and you're not thinking about stopping either. Like
Right.
you're just looking upfield, and you're like, I got a guy who's open, so I'm just gonna throw it.
Exactly.
So back to Cheng. Ooh, he pumped the high release forehand. Oof! I thought actually Williams might have a shot at that, and that's nice close defense. Oh, he's in trouble now.
Jordan Zhao.
Yep. That's nice D by Fisk. Fisk closed down on Cheng, and he drove him upfield, and they didn't have a dump, so he had to force it. Ooh, Ian's looking for a foul there. He doesn't
wow.
get it.
A sea of
Oh, it was
red.
the end of
and
the, okay,
ends
that
the
makes sense.
quarter.
End of the quarter.
Dogfish coming out very strong in this third quarter to create a 4-point lead. Vancouver coming back a little at the end.
Canterbury, the official apparel supplier to Major League Ultimate. Dress like a pro. Visit www.canterburyus.com, the destination for all of your team's custom uniforms and athletic apparel needs. Canterbury, proud partner of Major League Ultimate, committed to the game.
Is pain stopping you from playing your best? Get rid of your pain and get back to your game at G Sports Physical Therapy, the experts in sports rehabilitation. Visit their website today at gsportsphysicaltherapy.com.
They're flowing. They look pretty good.
Yeah.
Not nearly as, the moments of it looks a little ragged, but nice flow.
Some unforced errors by Vancouver in that quarter.
A couple unforced errors by the Fish as well.
Yep.
But I don't think it hurt him quite as badly. Well, 10 more minutes to go. Put win number 1 on the books if they can hold out here. Under these conditions, it's going to be, unless it's an epic collapse, I don't know if it's going to be that easy to score 4 points quickly.
Should mention the refs doing a good job calling this game today.
Absolutely, yep.
Not an easy game to call, especially in these conditions.
I've seen it. I mean, I've only seen a couple of things that really look like they've, missed, but they're the sort of fouls that I don't think have a profound effect on the outcome of a. To be able to, use the term the refs like let them play. I think the players generally are probably more accustomed to having slightly more physical marks because they're maybe a little more accustomed to they get that feedback from the other person they're competing against. If they foul them, then they're okay. I need to take a step back.
Right, and we haven't seen in this game, but I have seen it in something I really like about this league is that there is a spirit play that players can choose. Is if there is a call that's not called, they'll just throw the disc away and in a sense giving it to the other team if they feel like a foul was not called. And it's pretty cool that the spirit of the game remains intact at this level.
It was one of the things that in the 3 years that I was coaching we really stressed was that even if we felt like the refs missed one, because the spirit of the game rule applies to you can overturn a referee's call, a certain handful of calls, but occasionally they just miss it completely. And if in a turnover, we would always say, okay, we'll just pick the disc up, let the rest of your team know I'm going to give it back to them, and then drop it.
Yep.
It's similar to I've not watched a lot of pro soccer, but the analogy that was often explained to me was if there's been an injury in pro soccer, sometimes one team will just kick it out of bounds to get that person off the pitch, and then the other team will just give it right back to them. So it's sort of, and that's the highest level of competition in the world's most popular sport. If they can do it, we can do it.
Sure. Pro cycling, you see it if a player gets injured, the peloton will slow down. If a player has to do some business, get off his bike and go to the sideline again, slow down.
Was that right?
Yeah, that's something you don't see with the cameras, but
wow, I didn't know that.
They're drinking a lot of water out there.
No, it makes sense because I definitely wonder, like, but it is the one thing that I loved it. It's one of the things I love the most about the sport is the spirit and sportsmanship. Just don't cheat. That's all there is to it. Don't cheat.
There was certainly a question with the introduction of refs into this game. How would it change the game? And from my talking to players and as a viewer, I was certainly interested to see what would happen. And I found that players just like the idea that they have the freedom to play without having to worry about making the right or wrong call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Takes the pressure off of them, and they can just focus on playing the game.
And a player who's in the midst of a call, in the midst of a heat of a game, they're probably the last person you actually want making that call.
Exactly.
All right, fourth quarter starts. Ooh.
Not a lot of options.
No. He's going to have to... Oh, very nice. Sneaky Cloud. Ooh. Good look off. Now, Cloud's going to try to maybe get it off the sideline. Ooh. He's going to have to... Ooh. That's just a breakdown offensively. They needed to have somebody set up in a dump position, a second dump in case the first one got shut down. That's exactly what happened. Let's see if
And that's the difference between a 7-second stall and a 10-second stall there.
They don't have too many options either. Nice
Oops.
D by Lassiter. Good job. Nice D by Lassiter, and nice job by Cloud on the mark. He steps around, makes that around throw a little tougher. And their offense is now looking a little scattered. Let's see if they can get it settled down a little bit here.
Sanke going
There we
deep.
go. There is a great huck
boy.
by Lassiter. Nice put. Very nice put.
Hubbard using his size and speed to get into the end zone.
Lassiter has a giant forehand. If he can start getting that thing dialed in, look out. The Innova behaves a little differently from a disc he might be used to, and the key on that throw, he did not try to bend it into a space. He didn't try to throw with touch. That's a flat throw with some serious pace, and that's how I have to throw these discs. You just got to launch them, and they'll sit, and that's exactly where he wanted to go. Great huck.
13-8 now. The Dogfish up with a little over 9 minutes to go in this last quarter. First game of the season for these teams.
Looks like Coach Seidler's been riding the returners pretty heavily. Number 2, Devin Williams, who's on now, is getting a pretty healthy amount of PT on D. But I don't have the stats in front of me, but if I had to guess, I'd say the returners are getting the lion's share of the PT.
48 picks left. 48 goes to...
I like the Riggs-Chang matchup. Nice throw.
Oh,
Oof.
oop, good recovery from Nadon, and the big up, but not big enough.
Pineda again. He's in
Pineda.
position. Now let's see if he can just be good. Nice throw.
Sheridan.
Nice break. Oh, Devin.
Looked at it.
Devin Williams is open. Was open. Very nice. Sheridan, easy take. Oh, that's a great catch.
I don't know how he got that.
That is a great catch. And that is a risky throw from
And the
Taylor.
foul.
That is a risky throw from Casino, but
Wow.
Sheridan making a nice catch. Nice bid.
Barbieri had position.
He
there.
had position
He
there.
did everything right.
Waiting for the whistle, and now people are still moving, even though it's not whistled. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That is a heady play by Ian Ranahan, because you'll notice he did not stop moving.
Nope.
He was cutting that whole time. He is going to try to keep his guy on one side of him, get him get him out of position a hair. Even before it was whistled in, he's cutting, and he gets rewarded with the goal.
And the players knew he was the one that was going to make that cut into
Absolutely.
that position, and they let him do it.
Yep. Yeah, they've been doing a great job, really, of like some of the plays you've seen earlier. When the disc starts on the sideline, the man who's on the sideline, he's clearing, and he's clearing fast. And that's team ultimate. Like, people need to make space for other people. They're doing a good job of not only making space for other people, but also maintaining space. If you already have space, stay out of it.
Right. This offense really clicking in
Absolutely,
the second
they're
half.
rolling.
They've scored 8 points versus 6 in the first half with a lot of time left.
I can't tell, but I wonder if the rain has dropped off a bit. That might be a factor.
It looks like it.
Now the key is don't get happy. Keep the foot on the gas. Oh,
Sashalo, a big up there. Oh!
yep, Edelman's in position. That was number 7, Chang, going deep again. But Edelman saw it the whole way. He was in position the whole time.
Disc is still on the move.
22 picking it up.
Nice cut by Sheridan. That little sneaky lefty break.
And the big
Oh, my
up.
goodness.
No, it's
The
going to
new
be a
guy.
battle.
Oh,
Wow! Say what? Hello.
wow.
Look
Great
what
catch
I
by
found.
Christopher McKay. Great catch.
I did not think that was going to happen. The defense was
The
there.
defense was there. That's one of those times where the only thing you can say was, well, it was thrown to him.
Exactly.
You know, so maybe
Yeah.
that gives him a tiny advantage over that crowd. But nice catch in a crowd. Very nice.
It's so funny. It's very unlike.
Gonna do a McKeg stand a little later for that one. Beautiful.
He's a Cal student, and we have some ladies from Berkeley who are all at Twitter about him right now, down the end.
The tweets are flying.
He's so dreamy.
He is a looker.
He's cute. Yeah, those eyelashes, huh, ladies? Yep. Timeout fish. I would imagine half court pool coming. Half court.
Well,
Half field.
it's a big court.
It's a
Yeah.
court. Yeah, I guess it's technically a court too, right?
Very well done, Rubes.
This field, you can probably tell by looking at it, but it's full length, 140 yards, with 80 of those playable yards and 40 end zone yards, 20 on each side, and it's about 55 wide.
It's 55 wide,
yeah.
and that it's the width
That's
that
the
is the
difference.
biggest adjustment.
That's
Earlier in the game, we saw one of the one of the Vancouver players wing that giant bendy backhand that
Yep.
sort of stood up. He was on one sideline, and I think he threw it to the numbers on the other side. So that's
Yeah.
going to be a 45-yard cross-field pass. And in standard ultimate, when do you
happen.
throw a 45? You never throw a 45-yard cross-field pass. So offense has a huge advantage, and that's the huge advantage, the size of the field. If you can really leverage the width of the field and make a, we would always emphasize making a point. Swinging the disc is an emphasis in any level of ultimate. It doesn't matter where it is, but in pro ultimate, it's especially important because defenses get out of position, and they are further out of position than they might be on a more narrow field because they have so much more ground to make up. And that's often why you barely, like I said earlier, no one is. I don't see MLU teams just don't play zone.
Yeah.
Because if the zone gets busted, you are just
about it. Yeah.
done. You are
to the
absolutely,
races.
positively done. That's that 6-on-5 advantage that you might get. That if someone throws a hammer past the cup, you cannot run the risk of having 3 guys covering one guy, and then that one guy puts it over the top. You're in big trouble.
Yep. We did see the Nighthawks throw a
Looked like a
three-man
little,
cup
yeah,
for
a
about
little
2 seconds.
wall or something.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to know exactly what it was.
Yeah. Off.
The Dogfish have had zones before, but the only time we would ever run them is on the end zone. We would generally not run them full field, and because the end zone is a small enough area that you
Right.
can kind of get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the same grade.
So Casino, he's gonna. Oh, they're going with the flicky pull
Wow. Oh, nice scoop.
from the second baseman.
16.
Oh, very nice.
Pineda with the read.
He read that the whole way, and he was actually hesitating coming in. I don't think he thought that guy was going to throw it, and I don't blame him because it probably shouldn't have been thrown.
That was
Nice
almost a
D.
Callahan.
That
we
was
were
almost a
talking about
Callahan.
earlier.
Yep. So it looks like they're ISOing Sheridan here.
All right, 5's got it.
Yep.
Not there.
Nope. Let's see.
Back.
Let's continue. Yep. 2 continues. Colby Chuck.
5 goes.
Nice Colby.
6.
Ooh, nice. Great swing. Get in. Oh, lefty.
Ooh, one-handed.
Sneaky lefty from Riggs.
Wow.
There's an example of using the width of the field.
Swinging it all the way around.
And Colby Chuck gets some serious credit on that because you notice he caught that disc. He is not waiting around. He's basically saying, "I've got my defender on my back. I am not going to wait for him to close off the mark." Gets it. Nice crossfield swing. Easy goal. Colby, by the way, is actually a Berkeley High student. He's a senior this year. And he was one of the Dogfish practice players last season. And I thought he's number 26, by the way, with bright yellow cleats. I thought he was actually good enough to make the team last year, but he was not 18. So I'm very excited to see him and what he can do on the team this year because his disc skills are tremendous. Really, really good. And he's super springy and just a nice kid. Oops, offsides.
First time we've seen that today.
He's playing U20 Worlds.
I know. Yeah. And he's on the under-20 Worlds team. Then. Oh. Sorry about that. Got shots. So the offsides offense gets to field the disc at the 50. Uh-oh.
And quickly and in. Yep.
Interesting throw there. That was to the break side, I believe. That was a forced flick.
Nice job by Zhao getting open there.
Yep. And Vancouver calls time.
Cat and mouse.
Chess and checkers.
That was another taking advantage of that rule in this game about that offsides throw.
You can reach the end zone in one throw now.
Yep.
It's a nice throw. Great throw. And that the defender on that side of the field is really not anticipating that throw going there. That throw sort of bent to the break side, kind of a screwy angle on the throw, something you definitely wouldn't expect. So Nate Young was on his guy, but he wasn't in a position to defend that part of the field.
And the penalty, the offside throw on the Dogfish when they were throwing the disc, they need to be on or behind the front line of the... Okay.
Yeah, before the disc is released.
Right.
The receiving team on the flip actually has to have a foot on the line. And if they pick up their foot before the disc is released, it's offsides on them, and then they have to receive the disc, I believe, at the back line.
It's almost like a icing call in hockey.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we've got some new dancers out there on the track, getting the crowd excited. Dougie showing his moves.
Show him how to Dougie.
Got an actual DJ down there.
Dougie is the longest the longest tenured member of the Dogfish.
Is it
He's
the same?
been on every team. Well, the head's the same. The head and the uniform's different. The uniform's changed, but the head is the same.
That head must smell delicious.
Oh, the stories that head could tell, I'm sure. If this head could talk. So it looks like the Fish are putting in what has been a handful of their pretty steady O guys. Lassiter's been in a bunch of O points. Sonky's been in a bunch of O points. Cloud's been in a bunch of O points. Robot. Number 25, Daniel Naruo in the Bay Area has been known as Robot forever. So we'll just call him.
It can be a challenge with having 25 available players on your sideline there to find the right mix of players and to get players involved in the game.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're practicing, everybody's playing, but when it's game time, there's a limited amount of playing time to go around.
You got to know when to go with the hot hand. Ooh.
Uh-oh. Double team here.
Stopping it.
Tom is wide.
That was a great pull.
Rats.
And that resulted in that situation.
Tom was super open there. Last year was super open. Gabe made the right throw. He just dropped it. That's unfortunate. Yeah, they high-five each other. They know it.
Heads up there, Nathan Lamb picking up the disc, running furiously to the front of the end zone so he could get that disc into play, keeping the defense off guard and making that short 3-foot pass.
That's probably something that they've practiced. You know that,
Yep.
Like what just happened there is exactly what you want to have happen. Quick turnover in the end zone, run it out, bang it in before the defense can recover.
And that's one thing that people might be skeptical about having refs in this game. The refs almost never touch the disc. So when there's a foul, there's a penalty to walk off. If there's any disc movement needed, that's the player that's doing that, and that's why this game does not slow down.
Absolutely. Nice. So that was a string to Jacob Serrano. He was well defended by his guy there. Now they're going to just work it to the other side. Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, great catch. That was not to him. That was to Tom Lassiter. Wow. And then he comes up firing.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Wow.
That was the catch and throw of the game.
That was a phenomenal play.
Unbelievable.
Great play by Young. That throw was not to him. That was to Lassiter. Cloud just put it in the exact wrong spot. That is a shot downfield, too.
And that's the catch of the day on SportsCenter for sure. You'll see that tonight.
Not only a great catch, a perfect throw. That is a money throw.
And that's tough to make that throw because you have so much adrenaline going on. You know you made a great catch. You got to pick yourself up off the ground, steady, get your feet steady, and make a good throw. And he did all those things.
No conservation of greatness required.
Nope.
That was also his left hand. That was a layout left-handed catch in the rain.
What?
Wow. Nice play by Nate Young. That's probably the play of the game so far.
Yeah.
Ran ahead ISO'd. They're running the side stack as well. Yep, nice. Nicely run side stack. Now they got on the sideline. They seem fairly content to bang it down the sideline. Here they go again. They're not prioritizing getting it off the line.
A lot of... Ooh.
Devin fell down. That's unfortunate.
Kevin Chu on the score there.
32.
From 26 from Lamb. Josh Lamb threw that goal?
Was it, or was it...
26 throw.
Yeah, Josh Lamb on the throw. It's interesting to me that we've watched a lot of plays like this for Vancouver, is that they are content to hold the disc on this sideline and jam it down the sideline. And what we mentioned earlier about is if your offense is precipitated on that, then great, and it clearly is, because that's what they want to do. They're happy to keep it on the trap side. Most offenses do not want to keep the disc on the trap side. They want to get it off. They want to get one look up line, and then they want to move it to the middle and either attack from the middle or keep it moving all the way cross field. If the disc happens to stall, then maybe you could start working your way back. But they seem to be pretty happy. Now, the frustrating thing from the Dogfish's perspective is that that's the force. And that's really the place where guys probably should not be getting open on the force side, where you just walk it down like that. But, they've thrown 2 of those around backhand, so maybe one of them shared indeed, the other one was a nice goal, so maybe the Dogfish defenders that's in the back of their mind a little bit, that they don't want to get beat break side.
I don't know what kind of energy drink they were drinking at halftime, but these teams combined for 11 points in the first half and 17 so far in the second half. Yeah.
Jeez, crazy. Well, first half jitters, maybe? Now they're used to it a little bit, used to the conditions, used to the rain.
Mm-hmm. Rain maybe settling down.
I think this game is still the Dogfish's to lose, but Vancouver is making a strong push in the second half, and the fourth quarter in particular.
Vancouver has some really solid handlers, what I've been seeing in this game.
Mm-hmm.
They've been nice swing, smart play.
If I was the Dogfish, what I might consider doing here is off of stop disc, off of pull plays, force your guy deep. Hucks are not really happening today for either team. So if you know you're covering the second guy out of the string on the side stack, or the third guy out of the string on the side stack, maybe front that guy and just say, all right, go deep on me. Good luck to you. It's a giant field and it's raining. Just another half field pull. That might land OB. Oh, yep, that landed out, I thought. Yep, that landed out.
That will be put into play at that point where it went out.
So no double team here, looks like.
Or the brick.
Yep, brick mark. Dogfish coming out in a Hostak.
That's a...
Probably going to be Cloud and Gabe are your 2 primaries here.
Ooh,
Oh,
dangerous.
man.
Not sure what that was about.
That's just opportunistic. Oh, he's going to
Nate on
get the
there.
chance.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah,
my. Nadon got the D there, too, I believe. Did he not?
Not sure.
Yeah, I need to get the D.
90 gets the block, the poach block,
And right away
and
to
then
score.
runs down and scores. Seen
Big-
a couple.
Yeah, just gonna say big break for the Nighthawks, because they made a big mistake on that pull. They had that short field, and
Yep.
throwing it out of the bounds is the absolutely worst thing you can do. Takes away all that advantage, and then they get it right back and score quickly.
From the Dogfish's perspective, on that host stack, if you're going to be one of those guys that's standing on the outside, you kind of got to find a way to keep your guy on you. And if your guy abandons you, you have to go to a place where he is going to want to go cover you, because
Right.
we've seen at least 2 poach blocks that's the second one, but we had an earlier one, I believe, on a Pineda throw that is basically a mirror image of that exact same play. One of the outside Hostak guys is not keeping his man honest, and then he runs into the middle. That's a short pull.
Another out of bounds pull by Vancouver.
Did that land in?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think they'll probably...
Looks to me like the ref has
Move
put
it
it on
to
the
the center.
center.
Yep.
Move it in the center. Okay. Vancouver guy's like, wait, what?
What? Say what?
Watson is open. Robot. Nice robot. Yeah, it's a little crowded back there. Let's see if they can clean it up. Oh, very nice move by Edelman there. His man is face guarding him. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness. Edelman did everything right on that play. His man is face guarding him, so he made what amounts to a backdoor cut, gets open, upfield with momentum, and Watson unfortunately just misread it. Watson's defender definitely made him go up sooner than he wanted to.
Absolutely. That was a good move by Nate on there.
Definitely. Oh, my.
Big up here. Completely open.
Great huck.
Hunter,
Just short.
Almost in.
Uh-oh. Jazz falls down.
Jazz goes down. Jazz gets up.
Oh, my. Wow.
Sonke out of nowhere with the D.
He ran a long way to get into position to make that D. That is a huge block. This is the time where I would consider calling a timeout.
Yeah, they got no one at 3. Oof.
Nope.
Oh.
Okay, so Vancouver is starting to poach a lot. That's exactly what you want to. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
That's what. You know what?
Not gonna get over that.
That's the right thing to do, though. Take your guy deep. If he's poaching, take him deep. So let's see if position plays a factor here. Now they push them back down to their own 20. Yep, throw him. Yep, position plays a factor. Definitely. This is a big point. They really need to put this one in. This could be the longest point of the game so far. Easy. See, Gabe looks to continue immediately. It's not there. Those guys are doing pretty well. Gabe and Tom have talked about how they're basically their dump offenses together. They've been working together nicely, and that you see it right there. Call a timeout.
Oof. Just at the end of that stall. I don't think we've seen a stall.
Now they're going backwards. Going backwards. Team looking a little tired here. Nice cut. That was Janinas clears space in the middle. Watson goes and fills it. There we go. Big swing. Very nice. That's going to make that poacher pay. Janinas' man was completely off him.
Ooh.
Cloud. Sneaky.
Yep.
Nice goal.
Yep.
You can see some Vancouver guys with their hands on their knees. It's possible the travel is maybe starting to catch up with them a little bit. Get up super early. Take a flight down. It can be tiring. It's tough to go. It's tough to go to the well and dig deep after you've gotten up the crack of dawn and gone through customs and all that. Wow. Block by Sonke. Spectacular. On the doorstep after they throw Vancouver throws a perfect huck, just 2 yards short. But credit to the Dogfish defenders down there to not let him just immediately punch it in on a guy who was completely open, and Sonke scored. Also, they saved their timeout. I thought it would be a good time to burn one because they were looking a little tired, a little ragged, but they punched it in. And that was all precipitated on that big swing to Janinas from Lassiter. It opens everything up. Everybody's got some new lanes to run into, defenders out of position.
And that stall count, the player really has to keep that in their own head because you often cannot hear what the ref is calling.
Well, the ref is now calling 4.
Right.
But still, it certainly seemed like they were getting mighty close on a couple of those. Ooh, Fisk!
Oh, wow.
Nice D by Fisk. Down the line defense. Excellent D.
Williams coming back.
Yeah, now let's get it back to Jaeger. Calm it down a little bit. Calm it down. Very nice. Williams is really open. And no one's hitting him. Taylor's wide. Yep. Still open. Now see how they're keeping the space in front of Taylor open?
Yeah.
Look at that. They keep that nice and open for Jaeger just to run in. Was man on his back. Oh, pretty.
Wow.
Nice goal.
Beautiful hammer to Sheridan.
Nice looking offense. That was just plain fundamentally good offense. They keep that space in front of Casino wide open. No one's clogging it.
That was
very nice.
Timeout call. Dogfish are really looking strong here, getting into a great rhythm with that offense.
We thought if they could just clean it up in the second half, that's what they've done. They've cleaned it up. Their offense looks really good, really clean.
Rubes, they're going to have to put this kind of momentum into a bottle for 2 weeks when they have to play Portland. They have back-to-back week games against Portland. The next 2 games, 2 weeks from now in Portland, 3 weeks from now right back here. Portland comes to town, so that's going to be a big matchup for them.
Huge. Portland they're just really good, and they play together all year. They play together through the USA Ultimate season. They play together through the MLU season. And they've got continuity, and that's something in the Western Conference that not a lot of other teams can say that they have.
Absolutely.
I mean, Seattle's got a new coach this year, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think continuity is going to carry. That's good for 4 points a game. You know, you can't exactly put a number on it, but it's a lot.
Absolutely.
The past years in Portland, we've gone up there, and it has been scorchingly hot too. So I'm going to be. I wonder what the conditions will be like. But I mean, I have to guess that the rain maybe is not falling quite as vigorously as it was earlier, because both teams. I mean, that hammer that Jaeger just threw, and the goal that Nate Young threw earlier after that great layout, get up and zing a forehand. You haven't seen a lot of those throws being attempted, much less completed earlier in the game.
Rubes, you mentioned the travel day. So you're saying the teams don't come the night before?
No, they don't. Typically, we would, if we have if we have back-to-back, we would travel. Depending on where we were going, we would usually travel the morning of the following game. So we'd fly out one morning, and then take a bus to Vancouver to Seattle, or Seattle to Portland, or vice versa. So there is some time to get some rest on the bus. It's not the most, comfortable place to hang out. But that's one of the other things that I think the players really love. You do really get a chance to be a team, because you fly together, you bus together, and even on Club Ultimate teams, you don't really get that many opportunities to do that. People are broken up into separate cars, or maybe you have this guy carpooling from here, or you're not on the same flights. It's really fun to travel as a team. It really is.
And looking at the schedule, have they taken out those Saturday, Sunday back-to-back games on the schedule?
No, they still have those, but the timing is a little more reasonable. Oh, Dogfish half-field pull.
Good roll, good stop.
2:30 left here. Oh, Ian was in a decent position. Sheridan, nice defensive position. Great defensive position from Sheridan there. He's in front of his guy. And now he's in trouble. Oh, he's going to be okay.
Big up.
Excellent defensive position by Sheridan on the previous cut. He was ISO'd, and he did a good job of keeping his guy from getting it. And he's taking his guy deep right now. And now he's open underneath. Yep. Oh. Colby on. Oh.
Let this just float a little bit. Both guys battling under there. It's Joshua Lamb for.
Battle of the little guys.
Oops.
Oof. Just a drop. 1:27 left. I mean, the fish could just toss it around for a while here. There we are. See, that's nice. That is trust. He just threw that to a spot before Cascino was even moving. Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Colby. Wow.
Running it down.
Told you that kid's good. But I like that first throw that gets it started. That's two experienced players who have played together. Ranahan looked at Casino, and he sees Casino's guy has his back to the thrower. So Casino's not going to move. He's just going to wait. Throw it to a spot. I'll just run to it. Little dink forehand. One more throw off the break, and an easy score.
Sorry, what?
Credit Williams
No, I haven't.
on that nice throw there into the end zone.
Absolutely.
I've been getting a lot of feedback though.
Perhaps just first MLU goal ever? Maybe?
That's
Throwing?
really
He's
nice.
Yeah.
He's a rookie,
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. First
He's
year.
going to take that disc home and bronze it.
Put it next to his baby shoes.
I'd say Fish got this one, the 8-point lead with 1:09 to go. They got this one in the bag.
Looks like it.
The same wavelength.
Was that a foot or a hand?
I think it was a foot.
Well, that was a foot. Nice foot block.
Oh, and the guy that caught it was good.
Shaw picks up the disc. Hubbard is
So 3 picks it up. and
openish.
74. And 74 goes second.
There we are. Now he's looking to get it around. Nice. Let's see if Shaw continues. Young is open. Oh, golly, Jazz. Nice bid. Let's see if he can get this off the... There we are. Okay, now continue. There we go. Edelman is a sneaky lefty. He will usually get that off.
And 22 hits 74.
Oh, he had him. That's fine. Take time.
Not about it. It's all right.
Take time.
Not too much in there. Ooh.
Nice throw.
Ooh, and the foul maybe, but
That's a goal.
nice.
Nice patient L. Very nice patient offense. Had the disc parked on the sideline several times. Swing it to the middle. I think it's a decent spot to attack from if you can work the disc in the middle. If you can get it all the way to the other sideline, super. But once you have it in the middle, then you can start looking to attack the end zone. 2 hammer goals late in the game. 14 seconds left. Nice foot block by Riggs.
Started off with that.
Make them all wear it. Make them all wear it.
Defense leads to offense. You can say it all day long.
It's true. I feel like foot blocks are one of those things you just don't see that often. But there's usually there's like a handful of guys who tend to do it a lot, and it's just this unusual skill. Maybe it's a lot of like hip flexibility.
Yeah. Game winding down here.
Yeah,
Last
10 seconds left. 5-4. I think he's going to put it up. That's it. Ball game.
That's it. Just 21-12 is the final score here.
This was a great game for the Dogfish on many levels. It's a win. We love it. We saw their offense look really good at stretches. We saw them not clogging each other. We saw them clearing space for each other. We saw them really playing. I mean, it's team offense. You know, there's no individual superstar who is going to dominate the disc and he's going to have kind of carte blanche to hold it and look around and try to make crazy break throws or anything like that. Like, really good team offense, excellent team offense. And defensively, they were on their guys. They were on their game today.
And on the Vancouver side, young team, young players, but with experience and gaining experience playing together each and every week that they come out here. I think we're going to see this team improve, and when we see these guys again, it's going to be a different team.
Absolutely. They're going to improve a lot. I mean, this is also a great learning experience for these guys, too. First MLU game under the belt. First time with a timed game. First time with dealing with the time in between points. First time with referees. First time with everything, you know. So that's off the plate. So that's great. So they can move forward and not really think about that anymore.
Something I love about this game, the players walking off the field and they are applauding the audience right now for their support, and that's certainly having that home field advantage is key when you have the fans cheering you on throughout the game. You know you have their support. Puts a little pressure on you to get that win.
To perform, yeah.
They did that, and they're giving them a standing O right now. Love to see that part of the game.
That's great.
Looking at the schedule quickly here, Rubes, I mentioned it. Next game for Dogfish 2 weeks from today in Portland against that strong Portland team. And then after that, back here, May 7th is their next home game against Portland again. So week to week, that's going to kind of set the stage, I think, for this season for these teams.
And they get a week off, which is great.
Yeah.
So, you know, get in a little practice, identify a couple of things from this game against an opponent who doesn't know everything you're trying to do all the time, and identify a couple of things to work on. And from what I saw, I think the only issues that I would say are like glaring issues are really just drops, you know,
right,
and throwing into poaches. Those are the two things. Drops, you can clear those up. You just go out and you have everybody wing discs to each other as hard as they can 100 times, and every time you drop one, you have the whole team do a push-up.
Right.
That will get people's attention pretty quickly. And then throwing into poaches is really a matter of getting the guys who are on the outside of the hoe stack, make them understand what they need to do if you're out of the play, because even when you're out of the play, you're not really out of the play, right? You can be clearing space for somebody else. Your job at that point, if you're out of the play, is either be clearing space for somebody else and keeping your man honest. Those are the two most important things you got to do when you are not the primary cutter. And also, you know, be prepared to provide continuation. Be prepared to see what's going on and get into the flow, or if someone's tagging out, run in. But that's easy stuff. Those are coaching things that I'm sure they can institute without too much trouble.
We see the team out here, Dogfish, forming their spirit circle, talking about the fun of the game. And for Colin Shearstead, Matt Ruby, we had a great time here. First game for us working together, and it was a great one to watch. And for all of our team out here, it takes a team to make this work. I want to thank them for doing a great job.
Getting the scoreboard working, very important.
Absolutely, that's a very important part of this game. From Major League Ultimate Game 1, Week 1 in the books. Final score: Dogfish 21 and the Nighthawks 12. And we will see you next time.